All right, continuing on with 410. This is problem number 8. 8 and 9, complete the table and graph to show the, so 1, we're going to complete the table, and 2, we're going to graph to show the relationship between the variables. So this is the rule in words. A rectangle is 1/2 inch longer than its width. That's being translated for us into the rules. You want to pay attention to this rule here. This is really telling us what to do. So I'm going to take 1 and substitute it in here and get 1 plus 1/2, which is 1 1/2. 2 plus 1/2, 2 1/2. Here I get to pick anything I want to. I want to pick something that's going to fit on the given graph. I'm just going to pick 3. I could have picked 4. I'll do both. 3 plus 1/2 is 3 1/2. And of course, that's going to be 4 1/2. So I'm going to call this one A, that one B, and that one C. I want to go to graph it. You have to graph at least 3 points. It's the minimum. So this is 1, 1 1/2. So that's going to be here. That's A. And then 2, 2 1/2. B, 3, 3 1/2. I'm glad I picked those 3 because 4, 4 1/2 barely fits. It goes in there, D. Okay. Careful with my ruler. I did go and get a ruler. Get an arrow on there. That's worth a point as well. Not too bad. Let's look at number 9. Sale price is $5 less than this. They've already translated this into the rule. All I have to do is substitute. R is here, so I'm going to put 10 here for that one and get 10 minus 5. 20 minus 5. I want to pick something from over here, so I'm going to pick 30. A, B, C. So this is the point. I guess I can write it over here. What I'm kind of doing mentally, saying that's the point 10, 5. And that's the point 20, 15. And that's the point 30, 25. All right, so I'm going to come over here. I'm going to go 10 and 5 for point A. 20 and 15 for point B. 30 and 25 for point C. Get my ruler out. Draw that guy. Okay, arrow at the end. Moving on. Points 2, 4. -2, -4 plotted on the coordinate plane using the equation. So here's an equation. How can you use the coordinates to find the value of A? Well, 2, 4, that's an X and a Y. And -2, -4, that's an X and a Y. So if I take Y equals A times X, and I substitute 2 in for X and 4 in for Y. Well, 4 equals what times 2? A would equal 2. I mean, that's just substituting and solving. And this is the work that I can show, and I could write I substituted. X, Y with 2, 4. And I'm done. Without using a table or graph, identify 3 other points that a graph of the equation in exercise 10 will pass through. I'm going to make an input-output table here for myself. My rule, if this is a 2, is y equals 2 times x. And they've already given me 2, 4. I'm going to ignore the negatives because I don't want to work there. So if I put 0 in for x, I get 0 for y. So there's a point. If I put 1 in for x, I get 2 for y, so that'd be a pair. If I put 10 in for x, I get 20 for y. There's 8 million things you could do. If I put 2.5 in for X, I get 5 for Y. I don't encourage you to get too crazy. Use numbers that work for you. But there's infinite possible answers here. Last one, number 12. The Jackson family's planning a weekend vacation. They plan to rent a car. Let M represent the number of miles the family will drive. Let C represent the cost. Write an equation, so I need an equal sign, that shows what the cost for renting a car will be. We've seen a lot of renting car ones. This feels like something that's really important. It has all the money. So this is the cost of the rental. So if I go 0 miles, I'm still paying $40. If I go 1 mile, it's 1 times 10. 2 miles, 2 times 10 cents. 3 miles, 3 times 10 cents. So really what I'm doing here is thinking about an input-output table. If I go 0 miles, I'm spending 40 plus 10 cents times 0. If I go 1 mile, I'm going $40. I'm going to pay $40 and 10 cents times 1 mile. If I go 2 miles, I'm paying $40 plus 10 cents times 2 miles. If I'm going 200 miles, I'm going to pay $40 plus 10 cents times 200. So you can see that these are my inputs. So really, my output is taking, so let's pick a variable here. M is the number of miles. So here we're talking about M. If I put M in, I'm paying $40 plus 10 cents times M. We've seen this before leading up to this in other units. They do this rental car thing a lot. So the output is the cost. This is the cost, the cost, the cost, the cost, the cost. So the cost is $40 to rent plus 10 cents per mile. It doesn't ask me for more than that, but notice how this idea of an input-output table can help you to determine the rule. Now they did give you the rule here. If you didn't notice that right away, you could use the input-output table to test that. That's the homework.